What's up everybody, King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. In this video today, we're going to be talking about Evmos. Can this thing get to $12? Can we see a 4x price prediction with Evmos in a short period of time? I'm going to give you guys my opinion on why I think this is potentially a realistic thing to happen in a short period of time, and we'll also talk about kind of a comparison from when I last talked about Evmos about 2 months ago, and look at kind of what the project is and how it's different and how it kind of stands out as well in this video in the next 10 or 13 minutes. So before I talk about that, let me just make sure you guys have read the beginning title card. I'm not a financial advisor. I've been dead wrong about my predictions in the past. You can look at my videos about Pocket Network, for example. That one went down 95% from when I last talked about it, and I thought it was going to do extremely well. So do keep that in mind. I'm wrong a lot when I talk about these coins, but I'm also on the optimistic side, and sometimes you really only have to be right once or twice in crypto to be pretty beneficial and pretty well off. So let's get right straight into this and talk about this thing. What is the Evmos token? Kind of where is it at right now? So currently we're seeing Evmos trading at about $2.30. The last time I made a video about Evmos was back here on August 30th, 2022, and it was trading at about $2.44. So over the past 2 months, it actually really hasn't changed price too much. In fact, the market cap has gone up. You can see it's at about $692 million here in the video from 2 months ago, and right now the market cap's at about $763 million. So an increase, obviously because of more supply. The price is down, but the market cap is up. So that's pretty good. It's performing pretty darn well. In fact, in a positive direction right now in terms of the market cap comparison. So some other things to keep note of before I continue, though, is this is an extremely volatile coin because it's very new. I mean, it's only launched a couple months ago. In fact, I made a video when it first launched about how to claim your free Evmos tokens. So it's very new. On top of that, the liquidity on exchanges is extremely low, so definitely be careful, especially if you decide you're going to purchase up a big lump of this. You can easily get screwed over from exchanges that have low liquidity and get a really bad buy-in price from that. And also, just because of the fact that it has low liquidity, it also has huge price swings in a short period of time. I'm talking, we're seeing like a 50% increase from 2 weeks ago, and we easily have seen Evmos drop 30 to 50% in a couple days as well. So do be prepared for all of those things as this coin sort of gets through its discovery period and becomes more adopted. And I do think that we're getting to that point where it's getting more and more discovered and more adopted. So we'll talk about those things as well coming up next here. So let's just go ahead and talk about the first thing, which is the massive rewards that you can get from staking Evmos. So like I said, I've been staking from here for about 2 months here, and we can see that the rate of rewards that you're getting for staking for 1 month is 13%. That is pretty darn incredible. And generally when you see rates this high, they're usually on coins that dump dramatically over time, but Evmos has stayed relatively pretty much the same price over the past 2 months. So that 13% reward over the past 2 months, you've already made 26% profits if you decided to stake back then when I first made that video, and you kept it until now. So that's extremely good in the world of crypto, to make 26% in 2 months and not have the value of your token drop dramatically. So these rewards will drop over time, and we'll kind of look at that next. So let's go ahead and take a look at that next. If we take a look at, this is the stats page for Evmos, and this is current. So right now, again, price is $2.30. APR is about 161%, which is incredible per the year. And the total amount of bonded Evmos is 102 million. So these numbers are at about half and double of what it was before. So if we look at my video, and I skip ahead a little bit, and I go to this part right here, this is when I recorded this 2 months ago. The APR for Evmos at that time was 297%, so about double of where it is right here today, 161%. And the amount bonded was also about half, so that makes sense. As you have more people staking Evmos, the rewards distributed to each individual staker is going to decrease. And I think that number is still going to decrease over time, so don't expect this 13% monthly to stay 13% monthly. As long as there's adoption and people start to pick this up and stake this more and more, that number will decrease to maybe 7%, and then maybe go down even more to 3% and 2%, and then kind of level off from there once we get our maximum amount of stakers. So that's something to keep note of. This is one of those times where if you were early and you kind of just rolled the dice and believe in this token from the beginning, you kind of made off with a nice chunky profit from doing that. So that's a positive. And again, that kind of goes along with my beginning point of I like the way that this thing is slowly getting adopted. So that total amount bonded going up over time is a big deal. That means people are locking their tokens in. They're believing in this platform overall. They're not dumping the crap out of the coin based on the fact that our prices are about the same and our staking amount is going up to about double. So those are all good news. And to be honest, like a lot of times you have projects launch with these crazy APRs or just some huge numbers, and then things fall apart in 2 months on one of these aspects. Either the APR goes down a lot, the amount staked goes down a huge amount, or the price goes down a huge amount. And the fact that this thing is staying pretty stable with all three of those things is a pretty big deal, and why I'm taking it a little bit more serious right now in terms of what is this thing going to do in the future? Can this thing get to that $12 price point or that 4x multiplication factor in a short period of time? So that's why I'm super bullish on it right now. So we can kind of look at that next. Actually, before we look at the price, let's talk a little bit about what Evmos is and how it's sort of different than other EVM tokens, because you might be saying, well, why is this token important at all? Because EVM tokens, if you guys are not aware, what they essentially are is if you have MetaMask and you use MetaMask with Ethereum, it's basically another token that works with MetaMask. That's the extremely simple way of explaining it. And Evmos is a token that is built on the Cosmos blockchain. So usually when we see these three coins do well, they're all doing well together or they're all dumping together. So that's Osmosis right here, up about 34% today, which is incredible in itself. Evmos and Cosmos. All three of these tokens are kind of in the same ecosystem together, and they're all the top gainers of today right now. And I'm not going to get too much into Osmosis or Cosmos in this video, but that's the chain that's going to be the interoperable chain where everything can be communicating together a lot more easily. That's what Cosmos is all about, and Evmos is built on that chain. Evmos is essentially the Ethereum of that chain. So that's a nice way to kind of understand what this is a little bit. And the other difference is, well, you might say, well, there's so many other EVM chain tokens out there. I mean, I've talked about a few on this channel in the past that have done extremely poorly after they launched. Like Moon River and Velas are two tokens that I have in my head that I was bullish on, but they ended up flopping in the long run. Hopefully Evmos doesn't do the same thing, but nonetheless, why is it different? Why is this one not going to flop compared to the others? And I think that reason is explained right here. So just to read this real quick, it says Evmos is not just a fee and staking token. It will be the first token on an EVM that drives governance outcomes for the EVM, but also serves as a vehicle to determine future economic outcomes that align to the three main actors: developers, users, and validators. So essentially what that means is if you are a validator, if you are a part of this system, you are able to change the coin and make the coin grow the way that you want it to grow. Unlike a lot of other EVM chains where you have your developers, you have your main team that is responsible for the coin, making the most of the decisions. Basically, the people can decide a lot of the decisions on here, and this includes things like the supply. They talk about how in the next 4 years, the community is going to maybe pick something different that's going to happen for the supply, maybe a linear constant supply releasing as opposed to a logarithmic supply if the rewards are too low or too high. So the community can decide, and that's the difference between this chain and a lot of other EVMs where you have someone in charge or a group of people in charge make that big decision. So could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, but that is how it's sort of different than the other EVM chains. So let's take a look at price points right now too. So Evmos is currently sitting at about rank 65, I think. Scroll all the way down here. So yeah, rank 65, $764 million market cap. And I think like a lot, and this happened with a lot of other coins. It's in its discovery phase, just like when I talked about Polygon, I think 2 years ago when it was sort of in its discovery phase around the same rank, actually, to be honest. It was probably like proportionally, I mean, the market cap of all of crypto was down a lot from since then, but it was closer to about 40, maybe 60 when I first talked about Polygon. And when it got discovered, it had its staking and had its growth, and how Polygon is sitting at rank 10, rank 11 right here, which is pretty incredible. But these are the coins that are being accepted in the crypto world. I mean, you have Ethereum doing extremely well. You have Solana, you have Polygon. These are EVM type of coins with smart contracts integrated into them. You have Tron, you have Avalanche, and you have so many others here too. But I do think Ethereum Classic, I do think that Evmos can definitely get up there with these other coins that are sort of ruling the crypto space right now. And you know, I think a realistic attainable goal is rank 20. So rank 20 is going to put Evmos at a 435% potential upside, which is a 4x, and you're looking at a price of about $12.30 right here, which is, I think, realistic and attainable in a short period of time. I'm not saying it's going to happen next week. I'm not saying it's going to happen next month. Who knows? Maybe it will, but I think within the next year or two, we could definitely see a lot of these EVM coins, if this does meet people's expectations and Cosmos and Osmosis do extremely well. You know, I think it's entirely realistic and entirely plausible for Evmos to be in rank 20, or at least at the market cap of $4.1 billion. So that is my price prediction for this thing, my price point, and why I kind of clickbaited you into the video with that title of a $12 price point, or a 4x. So that is the gist of Evmos overall. We can talk about a few other things. I mean, we kind of covered everything, and I don't want to make this too long, but again, just to reiterate, this is a coin that is growing over time. It's getting accepted by people. You're seeing more and more people stake it. It's not dumping or collapsing in any way, shape, or form, and it definitely can be a competitor to coins like Polygon and Avalanche. So this is a coin that I think a lot of people should definitely keep their eyes on in the long run. But of course, definitely be careful with it too, because it is extremely volatile. I mean, until this trading volume increases to about maybe $10 million or even $20 million, you can definitely see swings. I'm saying definitely a lot, but you can definitely see swings of upwards of 30 to 40% on this token overnight. So be prepared for that, and that's why staking is probably the better option if you're doing this thing. So that is everything for today, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. And again, I'm releasing all of my videos on Patreon earlier than people over here watching on YouTube, upward to 12 hours, maybe even 2 or 3 days early, depending on how many videos I'm making. So if you want to get access to these videos early, consider supporting me over there on Patreon. It's only $3 a month, and you don't really get that many benefits, but you know, it might be really, really beneficial later when we enter the bull run and I start talking about some of these other coins that are going to be more time sensitive. But looking forward to seeing Evmos progress in the future. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.